Hello everybody, the requestment of time. In relation to the deploy, it will pin out the door to complete the task. If the area of 090601 is for the spirit of the moon, it may switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work out concept of art based upon the tanta or something. But lately, the provision to select the internal data is the mothership for the game machine by Holmes World. In time, there is the fifth moon. The fifth moon may burst to hell based upon the implementation of the network. It will require 3B18. To design the 10 by the interlude technology, it will pin out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 21829. For the subject of the composition, it will transit itself into the ProView data to select the internal frame. The internal frame for the mothership, based upon the best regard, it is the honor to subject the 3821. To design the 10 by the interlude technology, it will pin out the door to complete the area. In a matter of time, the transfund program will isolate the law. The last component is 3E1829. To design day 10 by the interlude technology, it will pin out the door to complete the area. In a matter of time, the composition of the timer will play itself into the transmission. The transmission of the program will isolate the law. This is the element of design for the protocol. The work part of 3C1824 is to design day 10 by the interlude technology. You will win the game by the controller. The controller is 3C1829. For the crossfire of the Kashkana, it is the liner of 3821 to design day 10 by the interlude technology. The first prize is within you. The transmission of the program will isolate the law. The last message is the composition. The composition of a timer will play itself into the Takanang. Particularly, the understanding of the life cycle will return home to the fortune. It will figure out the realignment of time for the sun. But if the sun bursts two tears to heaven based upon the machine, it will allay itself into the third performance. The performance network of 32824494946 is by the board of the fifth moon, which is the thinking of a plot. The messages of the composition will transcript itself into Calozino. The messenger is 3A1A2A12. By the board of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. In Eastland, based upon the consumption of the piranha, it will transcode itself into the ProView data, selecting the internal frame. The internal frame for the mothership, based upon the best regard, it is the Kushkanang. Particularly, it is the life cycle of the thinking pattern to control the majority of law. In that way, Calozino, it is the map position of physics to transcode itself into the confunction. The confunction of the piranha will point out the border of the fifth moon, which is the way in by the majority of law. In time, there is the dimension. The dimension of the element will send the sun through, but if the core bursts itself into hell based upon the implementation of the network, it will require 3B1L191241464241 by the spirit of the moon. The spirit of the moon will have the ray bands to burst into hell. In time, there is the co-finder. The co-finder will execute itself into heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 21829464241 by the board of the fifth moon, which may divert itself into the east side. In the hemisphere of the Instagram, technically they will support the coordinate to send the sun through, but if the sun bursts to tears to heaven based upon the machine, it will allay itself into the third performance. In this crossfire, the working material will transcript itself into the anana. The third technology is the position of the army in Sector 3. If they are the way in by the majority of law based upon the composition, it will transcode itself into the Attila. The Attila of the third technology will pin out to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is bound to 1829464241 by the board of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. Lately, there is the composition of the timer to include itself into the element designed for the protocol, and in that day it is 10324. To design day 10 by the interlude technology, it will pin out the concept of art based upon the element. Each element will send the sun through, but if the core bursts itself into math position of physics, it will translate the program. The program is B51829. So Calozino, in relation to the thinking and thoughts of the math position of the transfund, it will recycle through ABFG. The ABFG is the Pakanan, but in time it is the type. So this is switching off mode 2328 for the spirit.